Hello and welcome to Thursday Night Therapy, where 5 friends separated by time and space are brought together by the magic of D&D for some desperately needed therapeutic escapism. Welcome back. We don't really have anything to announce this week, except very sorry for missing the session last week. I had to call off on short notice due to sickness, and I think Nadz just mentioned to me he has also missed a couple of his Neverwinter Nights playthroughs, which he is streaming on our Twitch channel. These should be resuming their normal programming shortly. Other than that, as I said, nothing much to say, so let's get on with it.
Last time. The Ushinawa Isles have been our home for the last few days, but the excitement of being in port very quickly wore off on me. After ending my patronage to Merkel, I've wanted nothing more than to work on myself and my spells. This, however, will have to be put on hold as I failed, yet again, to add a new spell to my book. Gold, time, patience. All wasted. While sulking with a bottle of wine, Master Shu of the temple arrived at our dock and was looking for Mother. We told him of how we found the children and the decision that led us to send them his way. He seemed happy to help, especially with the pouches of gold that we provided. Having a conscience is new to us, but it felt right to give them a better life than my brother and I had. Orphaned with no one to turn to isn't the way to be in this world. From there, all of us went out and did various shopping, tried some new foods, but all I wanted is to grow my power and influence. So when it was suggested to go north to Mancatcher Cove in search of treasure, I was all for it. After waiting for our repairs, we sailed forth, and by nightfall, we came across a small cluster of islands. Sailing into a cove in the morning turned into a typical adventure on the Bloodwake, where I specifically say not to jump off into the water, and everyone immediately ignores me. With Captain Lanny jumping down the rope ladder, sticking his face in the water to investigate shapes and noises. Here we go again.
So,
very good.
that's what we pick up this week. Yes, lovely flashback. So, as we left off, Lanny had just lowered himself down into the water to try and get a closer look at what Devvie had in fact spotted moving underneath the ship.
Bubba Bot just died.
He died?
I can't hear your music.
It's not dead for me.
Oh,
Okay.
I think I was I might have just been a little heavy-handed with the
Beat him
volume
up.
slider.
Can you hear him, Ned?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's very quiet and ambient right now. It's not loud. We can test it if you want.
No, it's fine.
It's okay.
Fuckbird!
Did you all hear that?
What's it doing all the way out here?
What do you mean? You do have one.
We do own one.
We do. Very true.
He hasn't seen daylight for weeks.
Right, Lanny, you slipped below the surface of the ship. I don't think I even asked, but was this something you wanted to do quietly and carefully, if possible, or were you dive bombing in?
No, I would have carefully climb down the side of the ship if we've got a rope ladder or whatever that goes then into the water, and would have gone down almost quite stealthily to look to see if of anything of what I could see. Definitely not a dive bomb in.
Almost stealthily or actually stealthily?
Really stealthily.
Then I'd like a stealth check, please.
Sean, if you want to restart whatever music you're playing, because it's not on the stream.
I can kind of hear it.
I can hear it.
I can hear it.
It's not on stream, though.
That's weird, because it should be.
Shall I test the rainbow chicken again? That come over on the stream?
Yeah, the audio bar is definitely going up and down.
Give it a few seconds for it to appear on stream.
Yep, and now the music's back with it.
Okay.
Very odd.
Cool.
Good.
Stealth.
It just needed something to push it through, I guess.
Okay, I did have it. It
weird.
might have just been too quiet.
Something very odd is going on with Discord.
Yeah,
Oh.
Discord's been a bit of a bitch lately.
11.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Actually, it's versus passive, isn't it? No, actually, no, in this case, no. No, in this case, no.
How you want to play.
No, because they are actively doing that. Okay. So, Lani, just to describe what you see, it is. I think I described last week as you sailed into this cove, that the coloration of the water was visibly different to that outside in the lagoon, and it became a very dark indigo color, hinting at the depth of this area that you're in. But as you look beneath the surface of the waves, you do see a couple, certainly more than one, familiar-looking green-skinned fish-like fellows riding on sharks. Seemingly circling the boat. What do you wish to do?
Having seen
Right
them,
then.
Lanny would raise his head above the water, and he would, at a decent volume, would shout, "We've got company!" and would attempt to make sure that people on the deck were aware of it with that.
Are you climbing up out of the water? Are you going into the water? What are you doing? I mean, it's clear that you. It's clear that you shout it to everybody. Although, I mean, in this case, the rest of you, you've seen Lanny disappear below the water. 2 seconds later, his head pops back up, and you hear him shouting that there is obviously something below the ship.
If he has shouted up, I will shout back to him. Draw them up to the surface! It's much easier to fight them if they're on our territory. And I will cast Thaumaturgy to sound the warning bell.
Alrighty.
Did somebody
All
just drop out?
hands! Shit's fucked! We are all here.
Okay.
We're still here.
Yeah, we're all here.
That was very odd.
Did you get like a Discord sound?
Yeah, it sounded like somebody left.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something odd happened and I dropped down back in again.
Oh, okay.
oh right, that'll be what it was then. That's weird because Sean heard that and no one else did.
No, I heard it as well.
No, I heard
Oh,
it.
did you? Okay. I didn't hear it at all. Weird.
Maybe it was
I don't
you.
know.
Now,
Hopefully not.
you're streaming, though. It might automatically have muted your Discord sounds.
It does say streamer mode is enabled. That'll be.
That will be exactly what that
that'll be
is,
it.
then.
Yep.
Maybe Discord is haunted.
Okay. So I'm gonna I'll shout, right, you heard everyone to positions, and I'll get myself up I'm gonna get myself up into the crow's nest and ready my longbow. Where's the captain?
The side of the ship!
Yeah, he's kind of hanging off the side of the ship right now.
Might be best to put him up.
Well, I don't know. It depends where he wants to be if we get into combat, doesn't it, really?
Fair.
Lani, what are you doing? Are you just hanging around on the bottom of the ladder, or what are you doing?
What sort of distance are they under the water from me? How deep down are they? Are they near surface?
No, they are a decent. Let me just think in terms of height. I mean, they're lower than the lowermost part of the ship,
Yeah.
except for this one, which you technically can't see. Actually,
Yeah. Okay.
the guy without a shark, I would say you technically wouldn't be able to see because he's hidden around the corner. But you can see this guy here.
Yeah.
So they are definitely lower than the lowest part of the ship. So they're going to be a good, I don't know, 30, 40 feet below the surface of the water currently.
Then at this point I will get back up onto the ship and I will ready above the ship.
Yeah,
You want to
I'm
what,
no
ready?
tactician, but I would say it's probably best for them to make them come to us than it is for us to go to them.
Yeah, let's get them out of the water and let's fight them up here.
What did you see? How many are there? What's going on?
3 of them fishy fuckers, them Sahuagin or whatever they're called.
Those again. For
Yeah, I don't know if
fuck's
they're the
sake.
same group or what, but whether they've been following us for a while, but, well, they're here. They're here right now.
Well, they're probably drawn to this prick, aren't they?
That was me. Yeah.
Point at. Yeah, I'm pointing at you and your necklace around that you've got the deep platinum on.
Yes.
Just awful.
All right.
Did they notice you? What were they doing?
Well, I think they may have seen me. I'm not quite sure. They're circling around the boat, but they're aware that we are here as a ship, but I don't know if they saw me.
Can I see these? I can see these shapes in the water because I spotted them, didn't I?
I said with your perception check, you saw movement, just like a shadow, enough to notice that there was something under there, but you can't see them clearly enough that you can track them the whole time.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna try
it's not
and.
like you don't have clear vision on them.
Okay.
You basically only spotted them at all because you rolled a fucking natural 20.
Yeah. Okay.
But even then, simply because of the conditions, you might catch a glimpse of one as like an indistinct shape moving.
Okay. Give me a second then. I'm going to try something. I think. Range. Oh no, that's range. Yeah. Okay. I am going to have my hand ready, and as soon as I see one of those shapes in the water, I'm going to point a finger towards it, and I'm going to cast message.
Oh.
And I'm going to say, "Oh, come on then, you wankers, we know you're there." And that'll be my message to the Sahuagin.
Okay, 1 second.
It's a bold move, Colin. Let's see how it works out for him.
I mean, assuming they are within 120 feet of me.
Yeah, they're not that. I mean, even
Adding the height of the mast from which you're upon, it would be close enough. And nothing happens immediately.
No. Okay. It's worth a
after
try.
you saying this.
And then, after a few moments of thinking that may not have worked, I will knock an arrow. And the next time I see one of those shapes, I'm just going to take a pot shot. I'm not expecting to actually hit it, and it's more taunting them.
Okay.
So, where are we?
It'll be a disadvantage.
Okay. So, here it goes. First roll and second roll. That's a 24 to hit.
God damn.
Roll your damage.
Okie dokie.
Can you also roll me a...
Oh, sorry. That's a
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
11 piercing and 12 sneak attack if that applies.
I don't know why it would.
You had disadvantage, so it wouldn't.
So it wouldn't, yeah, because, so 11 piercing damage.
Can you roll a... Just roll a d6 for me, please.
Just a d6?
Yes, please.
Okie. Did that come through? No, it did not.
Yeah.
I did it the wrong. D6. Yeah, 4.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, you let your arrow fly. It's really hard to tell whether you actually hit or not. Because, as I said, you couldn't... You
Barely see the shapes.
You can barely see the shape, but you reckon you got off a fairly good shot. You think there's a good chance that you hit it. You have actually no way of telling though. And
Okay.
after releasing this arrow, despite continually looking and searching, you don't spot a shape again after this point.
Alrighty.
While he is
I will relay that information then.
While I see him cast a spell and then knock an arrow, I'm just going to cast Mage Armor on myself. And get that out of the way.
I'm going to draw my spear.
Your spear?
My spear.
Not your harpoon.
You know what I mean.
What do you... No, I don't. That's why I'm asking.
I don't have a spear. Okay, fine. Harpoon
Harpoony
then.
spear. Lanny is walking the sort of perimeter of the ship with his extendable lance just out and ready, just trying to see if there's anything trying to come up the side of the boat or anything. Keep your eyes out, lads. Check they're not coming up the sides. That's their thing.
Yeah,
I'm
so
immediately going to have all of my undead watching the sides of the ships with held actions to attack if they see anything.
Is it worth pulling the boat out of the cove, Captain?
Well, I mean, this is what we came for, isn't it? This is where we want to be. If we can't just turn and run now, but
Well, no. But I'm just wondering if we just pull the boat, the ship, just outside of the cove, drop anchor out there, and then we can come in with a rowing boat. Because I just think the ship risks getting swarmed and not being able to escape.
Those things were riding on sharks. I ain't coming back here in a rowing boat.
Yeah, fuck that.
yeah, no, he's got a point.
You fucks can swim well. I can't. I'm not going anywhere near sharks in the fucking water.
Fair enough, Torrin. Fair enough.
As
What
you
we're doing,
discussed this,
Yeah.
as I said, Devvie, you've not seen anything else. It remains oddly quiet, considering what Lanny's just seen.
I'm going to take a quick look. Hold on. And I'm going to climb down the rope ladder.
But you're doing it.
Looking at... I'm doing it, shaking my head, thinking, the fuck am I doing? And I'm going to stick my head in the water and see if I can see anything.
Can you give me a perception check, please?
I can. 7. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I'm.
You do not see the impending doom.
Yeah. As you look down, you do not see any Sahuagin riding on sharks.
Alright, then I'll
Do you see a
climb
kraken?
back up and say, looks like you scared them off. 1 arrow scaring off 3 sharks? Really?
Yeah, no, I don't buy it.
Sounds like a ploy. That's bait, isn't it?
Are they smart enough
Yeah.
to bait us?
It's quiet.
They're not smart enough to have any sort of decent sort of wits about them in any other time we fought them.
I don't know. They're smart enough to kind of use other animals as transport. That suggests they've got some intelligence to them.
Yeah, I suppose.
Right, what we're doing? Because right now we are just sitting ducks.
Well, right now we're protected on a ship. Nothing's attacking us. So
I mean,
what's the
it's
reason
smart.
we're here? We need to find this. We need to
Yeah,
find
that's
this, whatever we're looking for on this this map.
It's still early morning, isn't it, Sean?
Yeah. It's not that long after sunrise.
Not that long. Okay.
I think the sun came up while you were off the west, to the west of the islands, I think, and then after the sun rose, you sailed in here. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be like half an hour or so after sunrise, or it's early morning certainly.
Right. So I'm just looking at the clues again. From the Blue Blight's embrace, spy the grave lady's prized tooth. With the dawn flower's first kiss, climb the captain's wayward orb to claim old king's hoard. Clapton's wayward orb.
Yeah, I haven't got a fucking clue, honestly.
Yeah, this might be one of those occasions where Dev would probably be more intelligent than me as a player, so I might have to start making just like an intelligence roll to see if Devvie can figure out what these clues mean. Would that be an
Well,
investigation or just...
Why don't you
Yeah.
tell me what you think you figured out already?
I think that I have a feeling, or Dev, but I have a feeling, and probably Dev also has a feeling that from Blue Blight's embrace, which I think is just outside of this little cove, by the grave lady's prized tooth, that sounds to me like something that juts upwards, like a peak or a mountain or a rock or something. With the dawnflower's first kiss, so first light, climb the captain's wayward orb is where I'm stuck. So it sounds like we've got to climb up something. But I don't know what climb the captain's wayward orb means.
Is that some sort of eye reference, maybe? Don't know how you find
Maybe.
it.
The only thing I can say is if you're looking down at it on a map, orb would probably indicate the little thing that we've sailed into with the deep hole,
lagoon.
because that's spherical looking. Yeah. I'm wondering with the Dawnflower's first kiss, maybe something casts a shadow. So I'm thinking maybe the Grave Lady's prized tooth casts a shadow to point us where we need to go.
See, that was my thought.
But I would have to
that
assume
just means we need to be in this orb at first light to see where the light points us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So maybe we need to
means
wait
we have
another
to
day
wait-
and make sure we're...
wait in here for 24 hours.
Yeah. Or, that's why I said maybe we should pull the ship out of this little thing, because we're in kind of... It's not a cave, but the boughs of the trees above are creating darkness in here. It's a very sheltered, hidden little thing. And I'm thinking if we pull out into the bay, at first light, we will see something casting a shadow of where we need to go.
Well, my thought is that first light we need to be in here to see where the light points.
Okay, yeah. We could have two teams. I'm willing to go into this little place on a rowboat and have the rest of you out. A small team on a rowboat inside the thing, and then the rest of the people on the ship outside of the thing to see if they can see anything with a wider view.
Splitting the party when there's sharks about is probably a really bad idea.
I was literally about to say almost exactly the same thing.
Okay. Up to you guys, but I'm just saying, I think that would increase our chances of spotting a clue.
It would also
But that's Dev's thinking. That's Dev's thinking so far. But I am a very simple man of meager intellectual means, and therefore I probably am coming to the wrong conclusions. But Dev, being a smart cookie, is much more intelligent than I am. I may have to rely on rolls.
Yeah, no, I think I kind of agree with pretty much all of that. The wayward orb, could indicate, as you say, this lagoon is, I don't know, the captain's eye or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If we need to be here to see where the tooth points us and other shenanigans.
I have another thought, actually.
Ooh.
Would Devvie know, or he will actually talk to Torrin about this? Torrin,
Yes.
does the Grave Lady, he says with quotation marks, Grave Lady, does that mean anything to you? I mean, necromancy's your domain. Is that a reference that that rings any bells with you? Is that a religion thing, or?
Grave Lady.
If we can work out who the Grave Lady is, that might give us another clue, you know?
Is that someone that I may have recognised?
Hold on.
Sure.
Mhm.
Or maybe it's something quite simple and it's referring to the Raven Queen.
Ooh.
Do I know who the Raven Queen is, Sean?
Give me a religion check first,
Religion.
and then we'll sort this.
Shall I give... Because I was
26
helping with
for
this.
religion.
Never mind.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, 26.
Now this is going to be one of our. I didn't really think about this, which was a bit silly. But of course, this is a Pathfinder module, and in Pathfinder, the Grave Lady is one of the nicknames for Pharasma, which is basically the Pathfinder equivalent of the Raven Queen, as far as I understand. She's like, also known as the Lady of Graves.
Pharasma.
And I think, I think one of the main things in our portfolio is she would shepherd the dead to their final destination, which I think is what the Raven Queen does, right?
Yeah, but she's also in charge of like doom and fate and other stuff as well. But yeah, her main domain is death.
Okay.
Yeah. So
The slight differences between the Pathfinder and the 5e pantheons.
Yeah.
So in this case, yes, just take Grave Lady as one of the nicknames of the Raven Queen, or the Lady of
right.
Graves, I think. The Lady of Graves is what it technically is.
Boom. Okay.
Headshot.
So yeah, Grave Lady. A reference to Pharasma, maybe Lady of Death. It was like ferries the souls to the afterlife kind of thing. What could the Grave Lady's prized tooth be, though?
Okay, so that was the right track. Now we've got to figure out what a prize tooth is.
Are we looking for a grave?
Maybe.
It may be that literal.
I mean, prize tooth, kind of a rounded stone sticking out the ground. That would be a gravestone. She's the Grave Lady.
And that's why I was thinking maybe we need to pull the boat out into the middle of this, because it's the way these little rocks and these little islands are shaped. It's like an embrace. So maybe we need to be in the middle of that embrace and look at all of them to see if anything fits that description. And then at Dawnflower's first kiss, maybe the shadow cast by the Grave Lady's prized tooth, whatever that is, will point us towards where we need to climb.
It's an idea.
You follow me?
Yeah, it's definitely an idea.
I'm also, like, as a player, I'm looking at this tattoo of the islands and trying to see if it actually, if I tilt my head and look around, if it looks like a face where I could find, like, a mouth. Mouth shape, but I don't know, I can't see. Oh, you look at anything long enough and everything's a face, so...
There's that's a condition, I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, I've got a condition.
It's not a condition, but it's what humans do. They assign features to shapes. Anyway, that's not helping us at all.
Yeah, my problem
currently
currently is the fact that Torrin has an intelligence of 20 and Nathan has an intelligence of fucking 10.
Nadz has an intelligence of -3.
Wonderful.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. It's -1 at worst.
Technically, all commoners have a base stat line of -1 on everything because they're an 8.
There we go.
So
Think of me. Think of Nadz the player as a commoner.
If you would like to roll an intelligence check, I can perhaps.
It would.
Throw us a freaking bone here.
May I
Sean.
also roll an intelligence check?
Sure.
It's a 14 from Crimson Cray.
And a 15 from Torrin.
Okay, it's about the same. So I'm going to say for both of you, you're fairly sure that you're on the right track, and I'll just say now, like you haven't said anything that is like wrong. Let's say.
Okay.
But I would. The idea that you're going to see something at dawn if you are in the correct place is you think is a good line of thinking, and of course may reveal further more information.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, I guess sailing out into the middle of the cove is probably an idea then, rather than being in this enclosed space.
Yeah. Has everyone got that handout open in there?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking where this person's shoulder blade is protruding the most, I'm thinking of like maybe putting the boat there, right in the middle of that.
Like just directly in the middle.
Right in the
Is
middle.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah. and then if this map is drawn where north is where the eye is, so if it's drawn actually in true rotation or whatever it is, orientation, then the sun will come from where the sun is depicted.
Yeah, the map. The map is correct, I mean, the where the eyeball is, that is the north. The sun part of the tattoo is the east. Yeah. That is correct. Yeah.
Oh, I'm now also wondering whether the eye is where we should put the boat.
That makes sense.
I'm just wondering if those clues, like dotted around the tattoo, are in actually at strategic
Literal
places. Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
Okay. Well, we can do the original plan. We can do the original.
It out from the original plan, then maybe try it afterwards.
Yeah, so we'll do the original plan. Sail the ship out into the middle of that. Wait for the next dawn. See if that reveals anything. If it's fruitless, then we can try sailing the ship out to approximately where the eye is, and wait until the next dawn. So we've got some time. We're not in a rush to go anywhere. We haven't promised anyone anything.
Is that if you wait long enough, one will always turn up later.
Yeah.
And we'll just murder some Sahuagin if they attack us.
Oh, well, they're going to attack us as soon as it gets dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they will. Yeah, but it'll be on our terms and on our boat. So
We said before that it was actually quite early in the day at this point where we are now.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's morning.
So, yeah, we'd be waiting probably like 22 hours to get round back to that.
There's nothing stopping us from just going on the island and having a look around.
And having a gander, seeing if we stumble across something, and if we don't, then we've still got the next morning to try.
True.
Yeah?
So, yeah, so
Or-
maybe... Go on.
Was it? Or we can actually hunt down those little fishy fuckers first.
That would require going in the water, and then we're on their turf then.
It's fine. Nothing bad has happened in the water at all so far.
I think we've been very lucky.
Is that Des saying that out loud, or is that you saying that out loud?
I mean, is there any difference at this point?
Then you would see just the usual look of disdain across Torrin's face when you say, nothing bad happens when we go in the water.
Well,
Like,
unless anyone's got
almost
any...
dying
unless anyone's got any other ideas to add to the melting pot, Captain, it's your decision. What do you want to do?
Right, well, I think if we're going to wait till dawn and we see... Well, this clue is clearly hinting to that, then I think we sail out to where you did say, Devvie, and then we bring a rowboat and we search some of the smaller islands, have a look, see if there's anything of any interest there, any use, and then we set up for the night. We anchor up, either that in the cove here or whether we go out to where the map says the eye is, which actually makes quite a lot of sense, I suppose. We're looking from there, maybe. And then we're up at the literal crack of dawn to see what we can see. If there's not too many seas in there.
I think staying in the centre of the bay is the best plan to start with for first light.
Yeah.
Rather than leaving the bay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll
Plus, that way we're hidden from any other prying eyes that might be sailing by.
yeah.
So, do we want to, if we want to check out all the other islands, what we could do is we could start with the tiny little one at the top right and work our way clockwise around the islands and scour them. Island
Sounds like
hop.
a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah? You want to, sail close to them in the ship and just see if there's anything of interest that catches our eye, or do you want to row out to them and search them?
Sean, how far away are those? You said in this little bite bit that you could fit 3 of our ship, right?
Yeah. So
Okay, so actually, this little bay is not that far across. We could probably comfortably do it in a rowboat with Lani and Des rowing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think some of the smallest islands here are barely bigger than the ship itself.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they're not. These aren't massive things.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we need the ship. We could just row out to that first island and then use the rowboat to island hop between the lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get to it then. Let's get out of this little bay,
So,
out to the cove.
just so I'm understanding correctly, you're going to sail the Bloodwake out of the smaller cove into the larger cove.
Yeah.
Yeah, out
Yeah,
the cove
so that we're
today.
still in the middle of all the islands. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you do so. As Lani, I assume you're piloting the ship. As you begin to turn the ship to leave the cove, you get the feeling that the ship's slightly sluggish.
Uh-oh.
Perhaps not responding quite as quickly as you expected, but you're able to turn and you're able to leave the cove.
We got
and
dingleberries.
I guess you're going to stop virtually central.
Yeah.
Okay. At which point you are actually able to drop anchor here, which does actually bite. Within the cave where you were, it wouldn't bite. It seems the floor of this column that you're in was deeper than the anchor would go. But here, within the actual the larger cove itself, it will bite. So from here, I understood you wanted to take a rowboat and just explore these little islands.
Well, just before that, does Lani tell us that the ship's not responding very well?
So, upon leaving the cove, you would have seen a little bit of grimace on Lani's face and a bit of confusion. Not normally quite as bad as this, so... But as it kind of freed up and we moved on, it would have thought... would have thought nothing more of it, but it would have eased his mind slightly. But as we do stop and we anchor up the boat, Lani would take the time, just before getting into the rowboat, to actually take a quick search under the boat and just see if there were any sort of... anything like I don't know, something
Sabotage.
like
Seaweed in the rudder
sabotage or seaweed or anything that would have caused that slowing. But I've just got to check something. Hold on, let me have a look.
You just jump off.
Okay.
Right, climbing down as if it would have been getting into the boat, but just for a quick moment, just has a quick swim under the boat just to see.
How much time do you want to spend checking out the boat?
30-40 seconds max.
Where are you checking? Where do you want to check?
Well,
Just
I would have
looking at
gone.
the hull, or
I would have gone as the kind of middle of the boat. I would have then gone towards the. I would have taken a quick glance left and right, maybe swum a little bit towards the rear and had a look and seen if there was anything.
all right, give me an investigation check.
Oh God. Where are I? That would be a 13.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Islands.
I would say you don't see anything attached to the hull. You don't see any Sahuagin. And you don't see any obvious damage to the hull.
Okay. Then feeling it must have just been the lack of wind and the sort of movement trying to get out, just that it would just felt a bit sluggish. Lani would come back up and carry on.
as you come back up, there's always like, you see anything, Captain?
No, I mean, I didn't say it just now, but when we came out of that little cove, the ship felt a little bit more sluggish than normal, and I just thought we might have been hooked up on something, or just checking we had no damage, but it felt right as we came out.
Did you check the rudder?
Not specifically, but I had a good look. It looked like nothing was attached or connected.
I don't know. If I was going to try and sabotage a ship, I would probably try and tie up the rudder, if it was me. It's alright, I'll have a look.
Go on. Go on.
You people just like swimming, don't you?
We're fucking pirates.
I'm a pirate. I don't like swimming.
Why would you be on the sea if you can't swim, Torrin?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I can swim, I just don't care for it.
Yeah. Right.
For clarification, Sean, it was just sluggish inside that little thing, but did it free up when he sailed out of it?
As he was turning around, it wasn't as responsive, like not like mega obviously, and it was only like slight, but enough for him to like get the feeling that something wasn't quite right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll go in, go down the ladder, go to the back of the boat, check the rudder, make sure it's not tangled up or anything like that.
If you're in the water, right?
Yes.
Then give me an investigation check with advantage, please.
Ooh, with advantage.
Yes.
Oh my. This for Rocher already spotting us. Investigation. That will be a
Wow.
That'll be a 6.
Seems alright.
With advantage. Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a rudder. That is definitely a rudder.
So glad I wasn't there.
Yeah, that is definitely a rudder. It is
I'm
still
just
in
gonna.
place.
I'm gonna say like you just like you dipped your head under the water, saw that rudder was still there, and was like, "Yep,
Yep,
still
all
there.
good. Yep.
Nothing attached to it."
Yep, all good then.
Yep, this is a rudder.
Yep, this is a rudder. It is the rudderiest of rudders. If I ever saw a rudder to rud, this would be a rudder to rud with.
I don't think you've ever looked at a rudder in your life.
Nope. It's a bit of wood that goes flip-flap.
While this is all going on, I'm going to go up to Lanny and pull him to one side for a second. I say, Captain, can I have a word? Oh no, he's AFK. Can't.
No, you can. The captain is currently dropping a deuce off the side of the ship. Sorry, you have to.
I will save it. I will save it. Well, I'll grab Torrin. Next best thing. And we can do this next to Lanny and then summarise it when he comes back.
Shit, dude, go on, give some privacy.
That's all right. I'm sure he's fine with us accompanying him on his. Yeah. So. Right. So, away from the rest of the crew, do we want to maybe? Well, we're gonna. I assume we're gonna be like the away party. That means all 4 of us off the ship. Do we want to maybe bring Albert with us? I mean, he'll be off the ship. I know that we don't quite trust him with the crew, not to bugger off. And also, we haven't really included him a whole lot in much. It might make him feel like he's more a part of something.
He's just a crewmate, though.
Yeah, but
I get the concern, but he has no power on this ship. He's not.
Well,
he's not
an officer. I know that, but it's more of a case.
I don't see him as a threat. I don't trust him, but I don't see him as a threat.
I will be honest and say
our crew listen to us and they trust us. I don't think anything that he could say would change their mind at all.
Alright. Just sure. I just think, I do trust our crew. I would say the person that I trust least on the boat is him. And it's more a case of, I'm not saying he's an enemy. I'm just saying, you know, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. You know, there's a reason that's a saying. And Lani, now that you're back, we're having this conversation next to you. I'm asking you and Torrin this.
What the fucking hell? Canonically, you're going for a shit over the side of the ship, Lani. I said that, and therefore it's true.
No.
We decided that for you, yeah.
I'll be back in a minute. Oh, hold on.
Did you catch the gist of that?
Yes, just that not trusting Albert.
Yeah, bringing them with us to the shore in the shore party.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Happy.
Great minds thinking alike. Well, obviously, Captain, your decision.
Yeah, I think we take him with us. He might prove to be useful in some way, even if it's just as
bait,
fodder. Yeah.
And of course Sandara.
Yeah, very useful to us, as she has been in the past.
A very cold way of looking at it, but sure.
How big is this rowboat?
You can fit 6 in.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big is your boat?
We've got. Yeah.
I mean,
How big is this hat?
I don't trust Albert. But what's the aim of bringing him along?
Bait.
If we're specifically looking to sacrifice him for our greater good, then I could just murder him now.
The greater good.
I could just shoot him in the dick with a lightning bolt and everything would be so much easier.
Yeah, nah, that's not what I'm thinking.
The thing is, right? The thing is, my issue is that he was the captain of his own ship before, right? I'm right in thinking that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get to that position by not being either incredibly charismatic or incredibly fucking ruthless. Now, it's all very well and good saying, "Oh, you know, I don't think anyone on our ship our crew would go with him." We don't know exactly how persuasive he is. Right? I don't trust him.
Yeah, but money talks, and we pay our crew pretty fucking well.
This is true. It's very true.
And they all know what we can do.
Also true.
They know that any of them that have an issue with us very easily just be ripped apart.
Yeah.
Brutally. And then turned into one of my charges.
Followers, yes. I don't know. I do not like the idea of. I just don't like the idea of him being on the ship, to be perfectly honest. But you know, I made my feelings clear about that. Whatever you decide, guys, it's fine.
If you guys want to bring him along, then that's fine. I just want to know what the purpose of it is. Are we using him as a frontliner to take things head on, or are we just having him with us so we can keep an eye on him?
Bit of both, I reckon.
Yeah, both.
And how much freedom are we giving him when he comes ashore with us?
He's still a subordinate.
Because if he's just going to sit on a leash with us, then there ain't any point in it. Because then he'll just feel like he's on a leash, and that will do the opposite of what we're wanting. He will feel inferior, and he will want to take control.
Well, let's not give him that impression then.
Oh, it's a fucking minefield, this is.
Not really.
It's politics, and politics suck.
Yeah. Never been well for politics. Let's just take a look. Just don't treat him any different to the way we treat him now.
Alright, so I can get to call him a cunt on a regular basis, yeah?
I wouldn't go antagonising him, mate.
You said not to treat him any different to how I normally treat him.
Oh, yeah. I see the paradox. Alright. Everyone but Des treat him no different. Des, be nicer.
Oh, brother. No.
Alright, then be more neutral.
Uh,
Come on. Look, we've got a job to do. Let's get exploring.
okay, now, I mean, yeah, let's not fuck about, right? Should we just do a fucking show of hands to say whether we want to come with us or not?
Can do.
Sure.
Or we could just
why
let
not?
our captain decide.
Yep, either or.
I certainly think leaving him here to do his own thing and roam as free as he wants will be more risky than taking him with us.
Then let's bring him with us then.
I mean, for looking around these smaller islands, I think not a big deal, but certainly tomorrow, if we find something and we head off into God knows what, I mean, how long will we be gone? I don't know. Till we're back, as we've done a few times before.
Well, we can always reassess the situation on a daily basis.
Maybe we
Play a
take him
little
with
bit
us now.
loosey-goosey.
Take him with us now, search these smaller islands, get a feel for him, the way he's acting, the way he's feeling, and then we make a decision again tomorrow once we've got a better idea of the next step.
Sounds sensible.
So be it then.
Sure. I'll get Sandara to find him,
What?
and I'll grab Sandara and let her know that we want her to come with us, and for her to grab Albert as well.
She, of course, agrees immediately, and will prepare herself for a short excursion. And shortly afterwards, Albert will also appear on deck. As I said, he seems to spend a lot of his time below deck, as he seemed to have if he's got closer to anybody on the ship, it's Croup.
Croup, yeah.
So he spends most of his free time down in the kitchen. Although he is a help on deck, and he obviously can't help but keep an eye on the rest of the crew when he's on deck, but not in a negative way, of course. But anyway, he does appear on deck and does approach the group of you with the typical furrowed brow and impatient look.
Albert,
Yeah.
we'd like you to join us on an excursion to some of the smaller islands.
He briefly turns his head and looks around. Slight look of confusion. And then he just asks, why?
Well, we thought we'd give you a little more freedom and responsibility with us.
Freedom and responsibility.
Yes.
By accompanying the four of you to this little lonely island over there.
And Sandara.
Yeah. Well, we also realise that, you know, in the daily grind and everything that we've been doing, like, you know, we haven't been after bringing you back, as it were, we haven't really got to know you all that well, and you know, maybe that's a little unfair of us. So you know, while we've got a chance, we might as well, you know, just get together and kind of learn a bit more about each other.
I think I'm going to
If
have
you're
to
winning.
ask for a deception check. Because
Oh, really?
this is technically not truthful.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fair.
I mean, it's a good
17.
one. Okay. I think I have to roll for him now, don't I?
Insight.
Oh, how can I roll this blind? I'd like to roll it without you guys seeing it.
Just you roll it as a DM roll.
Yeah, but it won't add his.
Just do that manually then.
Yeah, I'll roll a secret roll and then I'll see if I even need to check. Yeah, it's close enough that I actually have to check his count. So that would be versus his.
Insight, which is wisdom.
Okay. You see his eyes narrow as you say this, and he fixates on you, Devvie. And he says, you know, if you want to get rid of me, we can do that right here on the ship.
No, it's not that. It's really not that, Albert.
Trust me, if we wanted to get rid of you, we know we could just do it right here. This is not a ploy to get you off into the shadows to drown you somewhere.
No, that's how I'd do it.
We've already discussed the fact that you would do things very differently to us.
That is true, milady.
I wasn't being dishonest, Albert. I was just maybe putting it more politely, if you know what I mean. I mean, you have, as has been pointed out, you have on a couple of occasions been vocal about how you do it differently, and you know, it's some of us are very paranoid people.
So you're worried about leaving me alone on the ship while you go off exploring, is that it?
If we're being plain, yeah, but that's only because, you know, probably because I'm a bit of a bastard, and most of us here are a bit of a bastard, and maybe we would do that kind of thing if we were in your situation.
Look, Devvie, I'm not going to critique your thoughts, your line of thought, because that's a smart way to think in this situation. You'd be a fool to think that it was not a possibility. But I appreciate your honesty. And, you know, it wasn't completely forthcoming. I'm going to be very honest with you. Look, I said before, I am very grateful that you guys brought me back from the brink. And I have said this before, I do owe you guys, begrudgingly though that may be. And I think I also mentioned I cannot promise that there will not come a day where I've simply said, I have had enough of this and I'm leaving. But in the meantime, I'm not going to be organising some mutiny here to take this ship away from you.
Very well. I apologise.
What I will do, I'm not going to lie, the possibility is obvious to me, as the four of you are so fond of getting yourselves into trouble, that the day may come where you go off on a little adventure and simply do not return. And at this point, well, who the fuck do you think's going to take over the ship at that point?
Well, at that point, if we do disappear and come to some grisly demise, obviously the ship, the logical choice would be for you to captain it.
Exactly.
If we all don't come back, it don't matter who the fuck takes it over, because we'll be dead.
Yep.
Exactly. Look, I've got nothing to hide. I've got nothing to lose at this point. I tell you guys straight up, that is one possibility that I might be secretly open for, but I will not forcibly be taking this ship off of you.
I mean, my other way of thinking of this was to foster some warmth between us, because we just haven't had the time, have we?
Not really.
So, I mean, you can come along if you're up for it.
No. If I've been ordered to come with you, I will come.
Right.
Here's a question for you, Albert.
Yeah.
What do you know of the previous Pirate King? And who he was and what he did and...
I assume you're referring to Cyrus Wolf?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Well, quite a famous, successful pirate king. About 100 years ago, did he reign? Quite famous because he was one of the few pirate kings who actually went outside the Shackles to do his pirating at times. Made some good money. Also made some enemies, which eventually led to his demise. But he was a king to be proud of, from what I've heard. What do you want to know specifically?
Well, if we're being completely open with you, Albert, we're, whether you're aware of it or not, we're in the possession of a map, a little puzzle to find part of his treasure hoard, as it were.
Yeah, I saw the skin map. I assumed that's why we're here.
And what do you think of it? Any insight into it? Any tall tales, maybe? Or...
Well, there's been stories and legends going around ever since his demise that he had various stashes hidden away around the Shackles. Some of them found, some of them yet to be found. So I don't think it's certainly a possibility that we might find something here.
Okay then, so with that, and you have got some information on it and whatnot, what do you make of this riddle then? And Lani will actually show him the map itself.
Alright, I'm going to have him do a couple of checks here.
Mm-hmm.
How smart is he?
I'll have him do a history check first, I think. Great.
He ain't that smart.
Oh, I don't know.
Nah, you got lucky
Okay, so
with that.
in terms of history, he can't really tell you much more of specifics of Captain Wolf's adventures. But because of the intelligence check, I think he would kind of reiterate what you've already discovered or already worked out, that from the sea at dawn you will see something, Grave Lady, referring to the Raven Queen or Pharasma, either or. But when he comes to this bit about the captain's wayward orb, he does say, I'm pretty sure he had a glass eye. Maybe it's referring to that.
Glass eye?
Yeah, he lost his eye and didn't. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure he had a glass eye. I don't know why Don't know how or why you would climb that though.
Right.
And with that, he kind of shrugs and hands it back to you. There's not really anything else I can add to that.
Do you know where he died? Or where he may have been buried?
That I
If he
don't
was.
know. No, all I know is on his last big excursion up outside of the Shackles, the inner sea, he raided some rich city or something up there and pissed off the locals enough that they sent someone after him.
Do you know whether he died at land or at sea?
I don't know.
Alright.
Yeah, alright.
God, so many spells I wish I had.
Right, maybe it's time we get this endeavour underway.
All right.
Shall we?
So the four of you plus Sandara and Albert, you're basically going to head out in the rowboat and spend the day exploring these little islands, correct?
Yes. Before we go, I'm going to reassert control over my zombies, just to make sure that that time ticks over properly and we don't get back late.
Okay. Fine.
Because that would be disastrous.
Yes.
Things rooming.
So, okay. As I said, the smallest island, like the top right, it's barely larger than the Bloodwake, and a lot of these are just like little outcrops. Some of them are more steep in their, like it's not like a beach. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, they're just like
they're more
rocks
like
poking
small
out the sea.
cliffs. I mean, yeah, cliff is perhaps a little dramatic, but some of them are harder to climb. It does seem that a lot of the rock is quite rough, though. It's almost like it's almost like a coral rock. I don't think that's the term that I'm looking for. I think it's not like smooth slabs. You know what I mean? It's all very rough and knobbly, which makes it relatively easy to climb because there's loads of handholds and little like holes to put your hand in and like little bits sticking out that you can grab.
Yeah.
So you're basically able to access all of these islands. The ones that do have vegetation on are basically thick foliage.
Yeah.
And I hate to be anticlimactic, Emma, but
not at all.
You spend the day exploring these islands, and as they are fairly small, you're pretty confident that you haven't missed anything, because they're not big enough for you to have not seen anything, unless there's something buried underneath the ground. I assume you're not going around digging up.
No.
Digging up all the soil. You don't really find anything of any interest at all. I mean, there's not even really any animal life other than insects and birds.
Okay.
And you don't really find any sign of I was going to say sign of life, but I mean like sign that like people have been here.
Okay.
There's no artifacts, let's say. So I'm going to send. It will take you a good few hours, most of the day, to kind of pass down through. If we're going from the top right around to the larger one, in between the largest of islands, that's going to take you most of the day.
Yeah.
And as I said, you comb through everything, and by late afternoon, you're pretty sure that aside from the large island, there's not there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or did you want to include the large island in your search?
Depends on how late it's getting. If we don't feel like we can do it justice before sundown, then perhaps not.
Yeah,
Maybe
I would say it's
maybe
already late in the afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think if dawn doesn't reveal anything to us, or we don't find really what we're looking for, then we can think about scouring the big one. Perhaps. I don't want to speak for everyone, though. I mean, that's just my thought.
Yeah.
If we've got time, then going to the big one is good. And if it's probably a losing battle for daylight, then do it the next day.
Yeah. As we said, we are not exactly on a time frame here, are we?
No.
No, not really. So, you want to head back to the Birdwake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you do so. I mean, it's going to be not too far off from mealtime. Most of the crew have enjoyed, a day of relaxation. I mean, it's quite idyllic here. It's quite nice. The weather's been good, and this is, they've had a couple of days at port, but just to be able to sit out here and enjoy the sun and relax.
Nice change in pace for them.
Yeah, this almost tropical paradise. It's been quite pleasant. So the mood is relatively good amongst the crew.
Tropical paradise with some skeletons on board.
Yeah, I think most of them are getting used to it.
And sharks in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask, there has been no report of any sharks or Sahugin.
Look, my undead had been left with the command of attack anything that is hostile to them outside the water, so...
Yeah, no, it's all been quite idyllically quiet.
Almost too quiet.
Oh, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, evening will arrive. Do you want to do anything else before nightfall? I assume you're spending the night here at the centre of the cove?
Yeah, I think putting into that thing was asking for trouble. Yeah.
Okay.
Lanny would instill a sort of night guard routine with at least 2 crew and 1 officer on each time throughout the night to keep a very close eye, keep people alert on what's going on.
I will Bagsy last watch because I want to be there for dawn breaking.
I think
my perception is quite high.
All be there, certainly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get an early night and be up with all the undead, taking all of their watch, because they don't sleep and they can't get exhausted. It's great. Permanently watching with their minus in perception, I think.
But I imagine their perception isn't fantastic, though.
Good early warning system if something does get up on deck, though.
Their passive perception are 8 and 9 for the zombies and skeletons, respectively.
I mean, considering they have no eyes, yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, they're not too bad. Oh yeah, the zombies are in their chainmail. Should probably update that.
Okay. So, if you're not going to do anything else, we shall move on to the night time.
Yep.
Your cautious watches go off without event. So, the 4 of you, as you just said, will be up and ready before dawn. Correct?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And where do you want to be now? What exactly do you want to be doing as you await this moment?
I want to be in the crow's nest so I get a good view of where shadows are being cast across the bay.
Various points across the ship, giving just slightly different angles if possible.
Who's looking where? That's what I want to know.
Well, there's 4 of us, and there's 4 points to the compass.
I'll be looking towards the main island.
I will be looking towards the east, into the sun, see if there's anything that catches my eye on the shapes that it makes, or anything particular that we might have missed from that could have been glinting or whatever.
Sorry, which direction did you say?
I'm looking east.
Towards the rising sun.
Yes.
Glaring directly at the sun.
Mm-hmm. Des, Lani?
I think Lanny's main focus would be on the main island, but would certainly be looking around for other things that might catch an interest.
Okay.
To stand out.
The what? Was that west or south?
Looking west primarily,
Okay.
but then having a check in general across, like left and right, so
Alright.
south and north.
Well, I'll be checking at south predominantly as well.
Okay. So you wait in anticipation for the sunrise. There's this brief moment. You can always tell when it's coming. There's this indirect soft glow which creeps its way slowly at the horizon.
Is there a green flash before the sun rises?
Oh, not anymore. You killed him.
Yay!
We thought we killed him the first time and it fucking came back.
Yeah.
And you wait expectantly, eyes open, watching for any clues or details. And as the sun cracks the line of the horizon, Torrin, you get a face full of sun as this large golden disc begins to rise. It passes between these 2 islands directly in front of you, bathing you in warm light. Devvie and Lani,
Mm-hmm.
as you are looking towards the main island, you see this slit of sunlight flash across the surface of the water. And as the sun rises, it casts a shaft of light directly into this cove, in this canopy-covered section where you had been parked the day before. And see, when the sun is in the sky, it is actually moving, but you can't really tell because you have no reference point. But when the sun is at the horizon and it's either rising or setting, you can see it's actually moving quite fast. And it's moving fast enough at this point that the shadows are moving quite quickly. And you can see that this shaft of light that is pouring directly into this cove is not actually going to be there for very long, because soon the sun is going to rise enough that the angle will mean that the walls will be once again in shadow. And you can already see this line of shadow slowly coming from the top down as the sun is now casting light upon this canopy. And as it does so, you notice some odd shapes begin to form on the inside wall of the cove. and these strange structures begin to form and move and mutate slightly as the sun rolls upwards. And you get the sense that you almost catch like a glimpse of something significant, some sort of shape. But it's almost as if as soon as it was visible, it kind of was lost again with the movement of the sun.
Oh,
Just as that passes...
Like a way up the rock or something?
Yes, like up the surface of the... I think I can't remember how I did describe it. The height of the rock. I think it was a good 50 foot high or something.
Sorry, you broke up a bit there.
It's a good 50 foot or 60 foot, the actual height of the cliffs.
Okay.
So you can... sorry, I actually think it's 100 feet. Yeah, it's actually the uppermost rim is 100 feet above. So you can see like there's something's going on.
Yeah.
And just as you think almost like those weird eye pictures where you have to stare at them and then cross your eyes and.
Magic eye.
Magic eye.
These two things come together and then like. It's almost like that, where like these two things have come together, and just as they kind of connected, and you realised there was something visible, they kind of moved apart again.
Yeah. Oh, it's a schooner.
In this moment, though, you catch a glimpse, and something does flash and glint and glimmer, and it is you're not sure if it was because of the sunlight, but you're sure that you spot this. A little golden flash of something glinting.
I try to commit where that flash came from to memory. If I can.
I mean, you are a decent way out in the cove, and it's a 100-foot high cliff, and you are a few hundred feet away. So you're going to know roughly where it is. I mean, it's literally like on the inside west face. Virtually
westernmost face. Okay.
If you're looking straight into this cove, it's going to be on the opposite wall. So you know roughly where it is. And with that, as I said, the sun continues to rise and the shadow sinks slowly until whatever it was that you just saw is now basically covered again in this almost checkerboard pattern of light and leaves due to the carpeted canopy above.
Okay. Excellent. Right. I will hop down the mast. I say, Lanny, did you see that as well?
I did. There was something, like, I don't know, quite a way up off the water in that little cove. Something, it was like a little glitter or something. Couldn't quite make it out from here.
Yeah. I reckon that's our thing. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Climb the captain's wayward orb. The wayward orb would refer to his eye, and that thing looks like an eye. But climb up the rock face.
Oh, there must be like a little entrance there or something, and a hidden way in, maybe.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. I'm not sure we should take the whole ship in there, though.
No, I mean, maybe I'm open to suggestion.
Well, sail a bit closer, of course. But I think we should park it just outside of that. So that, the ship's got time to skedaddle if it needs to.
Yeah, I suppose. Like I say, whether it was weeds or whatever, but something got caught up yesterday as we went to leave, so...
Yeah,
maybe we don't want that to happen again.
Nah, that's why I think we should take the rowboat in. I'll be honest, I know it's a little bit of a risk, but I'm quietly confident we can handle the Sahuagin.
Yeah, of course.
So, Let's put together a exploratory party then, I suppose.
Let's get on it while the day is early.
Yep.
How many rowboats do we have?
I think you only have the one,
We only have the one.
I believe.
And the hat, the tricorn.
The hat.
Yeah, you have the hat as well, but you have the.
Oh,
I
so we
think
got
you-
2 in total.
Theoretically, yeah, although it's not usable by everybody. I think only Sandara and Des can actually activate the
Oh,
hat
yeah, yeah.
bolt.
Yep.
And I think the other one you took from the raid from the
The
ship
Randumi.
boat. No, I think. Or did you get one from there? I can't remember where you. I don't
No,
think
we-
you had one the whole time, and then as you got
No, we
you
stole
got-
one from another ship, didn't we?
You got attacked at dawn. They attacked you with in rowboats
Ah, yes, yeah. So it's
from
the
the
Yeah, the
What did
rowboats
you
that
just
came
get?
off the red ship.
yeah the
Yeah.
Pilo shite. I think you.
Yes.
christened it.
Hilo shot. Yeah.
Yeah, they came with rowboats, and I'm pretty sure that you.
Yeah, we just grabbed
kept
one of those, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you fucks want to go have a boarding party and try and get to that cliff, can I
Keep an eye
suggest
on
that
us
we
from here.
have 2 boats and we take the undead with us?
Yeah?
Because
Yeah, sounds right.
well, if things go wrong and we stay there for a bit longer than we mean to, this lot will all, have their issues.
The only issue is, Torrin, I think what me and Devvie saw is about, 100 foot up off the water.
Oh no,
They
it was not high. The top edge is 100,
Of the top
and what
edge,
you saw
okay.
was about in the middle somewhere. So
Okay.
I'm just saying roughly.
But
in
still,
the middle.
I don't know how we get up to that height of what me and Devvie saw. Is it just a pure climb or some sort of hidden entrance lower? I do not know.
No,
But
I think
I
there
get what
was,
you mean.
Yeah. I think there was some kind of hidden way of climbing up, but it would be I think it would be prudent to bring the steadfast grapple with us just as a safety line, you know?
Yeah.
Always helpful.
It's a it's better to have them with us than not with us, I think, with
Oh, yeah,
with
and-
their limitations.
And if nothing else, they're, fodder.
Well, that was their use when I had them against the dragon. So if something
Yep.
big and terrible and awful tries to fight us, I'd rather have them take hits than us.
Absolutely.
That's always the plan.
Alright. Let's get to it then. Oh, do you
So
reckon we
who's
should
going?
Oh, that would be... Oh, I'm definitely going.
Sorry, I mean, yeah, sorry, that needs to. I mean, I meant if you're.
Oh,
I'll let no.
if we're
You
taking-
discuss it. You discuss it. Discuss amongst yourself.
Oh,
was
sorry,
a
are
little
you
too
staying
hasty
on
there.
board the ship or are you coming with?
Well, I can't. If I'm staying on the ship, then I don't need you to take the zombies. So I'm coming with you.
Oh, yeah. Alright, yeah.
I presume you're coming because you've seen
Yeah.
wherever this glint was.
Oh, yeah, I have to come.
Well, yeah, I mean, the core 4 have to go, don't they?
And are we bringing anybody else with us?
I
Our
reckon...
little adventures would be lost without Sandara. I think we do need a.
We don't be
Yeah.
dead several times over.
And are you still worried about Albert?
We can give him... If
Well,
he
you know-
wants to come, he can come.
Look, we took him out for his walk yesterday. He's had his exercise. He can stay here now.
Oh, if you're happy with that, I'm happy with that.
And, I've been thinking about it. I've been soul searching. I have been coming to terms with my, innate distrust of the man. And I've come to the conclusion that if we get back and find he's taken to the ship, I have more reason to kill him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
I believe him, though. I believe him.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that we could just blow him up, or at least I could just blow him up, and you three could
Smash
just
his
rip his head
fucking
off
head
and gut him. So he knows fighting us directly is a problem, and I trust our crew. So I got no problem leaving him on the ship.
All right, let's go then.
All right. Can we get your tricorn, Des?
If that's what you want to call it these days, sure.
If you come with me and 2 skeletons, and Captain and Crimson, do you want to take the zombies and we can have 4 in each boat?
Yep.
Sandara.
Well, 5 in us, Sandara.
And 5 in yours with Sandara with you, yeah. If you're happy with that.
Yeah, I am.
Wonderful.
You are, Captain?
Actually, maybe I'll take the zombies. They're probably stronger than the skeletons. You know, they've got some muscle still left on them. They can probably help us row a bit easier.
You'll be fine.
Oh, I could. I just don't want to.
Okay. So the 4 of you plus Sandara and the 4 zombies board the 2 boats, leaving the Bloodwake in the main cove, but closer to the smaller cove than it was the night before, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And warning everyone to make sure they are diligent with looking after themselves and the ship.
And keep an eye on the seas. And fishy fuckers.
Yeah, I mean, I assume under the circumstances you're going to be leaving people on watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think everyone... yeah. You've
Does
seen
not pay to
Sahuagin
assume.
around, but... Huh?
It does not pay to assume that everyone knows what you're talking about.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone knows the situation that we're in, so... Okay, so you head into the cove itself. And I assume you're going to be heading directly to the western wall?
Yes.
Okay. Then please tell me what you want to do once you get there. You reach it without issue?
Well, on the way, I will be looking down into the water to see if I can see any Sahuagin. So I will do a perception, which is a 14, just to see if there are any dark shapes kind of in that area under the water.
Okay, none that you spot.
Okay, and then I'll be looking at directly at the westernmost face to see if I can find that kind of way up that was revealed in the sunlight.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a rough idea of where it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you cannot be able to pinpoint it. I think it's going to be a case of getting up there and then seeing if you can locate it once you've got up there. I mean, you from where you are, you can't see anything.
Right.
You can't see whatever it was. It's not visible from where you are, as far as you can tell.
Okay. Shall I do another perception check to see if I can find like footholds and handholds and stuff like that?
No, the rock here, like I said on the other islands, it's it's actually fairly good for climbing.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's not sheer cliff. It's not going to be all that difficult.
I'll
And
hand.
it's not like there's a specific place which is going to be easier to climb than others.
Okay. I will hand the steadfast grapple to Lanny. And kind of like point up where I reckon it's a good place for it to go. So can you hit that, Lanny?
I'll give it a bloody good go. Twirls the rope, flings it up.
Yeah, I don't actually need a roll for this because you literally think about where you want it to go, and it, as if being pulled by a magnet, after being released and arcing through the air for a moment, it almost just homes in on its target and locks in basically exactly where you want it to be.
Like me, good shot, Lanny.
Hit it in one, yeah!
I mean, I think the rope's only 50 foot long, so I mean, it's going to hit like halfway up exactly.
Okay. And I will. Yeah. So I guess maybe I'll go in. Do you want me to go first, Annie, or?
I mean, you probably got the best look at where it was. If you want to have a look up, see what you can see, and then we'll get up. But you got to get up that rope first, Devvie, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the rope's really there for safety, so I'll put like a bit of the rope kind of. I won't tie it around my waist, but I will hold it in such a way that I've got like not a safety net, but just making things a little bit easier for me to climb up this thing, and I will really take my time. I'm in no rush. I kind of know roundabouts-ish the area that I saw it, so I'm just going to be taking my time and looking around all the time for clues and seeing if I can see anything above me or around me.
Okay.
Do you want me to make another perception, or?
Hang on. I was just going to say, with the aid of the rope and the fact that this is rather uneven, it's relatively easy to find places to put your feet, and just by leaning back and pulling on the rope, it's going to be I mean, it's not a fucking walk in the park, but this isn't a difficult climb, especially. And if you're taking your time, I'm going to say that if you're taking a few minutes or possibly a few more minutes, you're not really going to have any issue to get up there. Once you start to get up to the middle section, I would ask for a perception check, I guess.
Perception? Okay.
While he's climbing, can I have Zima fly up and also have a look?
You can.
That's 23.
Wow, fuck me. I'll look through Zima's eyes so I can use my perception rather than hers. And mine's a 15.
Okay. Devvie, I'm going to say, as you near almost the top of the rope, so you're actually very close to where the grapple is actually lodged into the rock. You're basically climbing over like a particularly rocky outcrop, where you notice there is there is a deposit of something lodged into the rock in a crevice, and you are immediately quite sure that it's not naturally formed, that it's been deliberately put there. And I think it's gold in colour. It looks like gold. A very large chunk of like unformed gold, and it's lodged in this crevice at this rocky outcrop.
Okay.
And I think you can only assume that this is what reflected in the sun at dawn.
All right. In that case, I will.
I'm also going to say Zima, or looking through
Yes.
Zima's eyes, spotting Devvie, he will stop and look at this. And from that height, from that distance, I'm going to say with a 15, you do spot what look to be like two openings that go deep enough that they're obviously not just the surface of the rock, like as they were up to this point.
Okay.
And they're a little ways above where Devvie currently is. Maybe like another 10, 15 feet above where Devvie is. There's these two... these
Still
two...
within range of the steadfast grapple, or past it?
It's above the grapple, so it's... if
Another
the
10
grapple-
feet past the grapple. Okay.
Yeah, so it's another 10, 15 foot above that.
Okay. I will say that while I'm looking through Zima's eyes. There's a couple of openings, maybe 10, 15 feet past where Devvie is. Could mean something, could not. What do you reckon?
Just openings,
saying
or
that-
is there anything else up there?
I mean, with that check and with... I mean, he's a bat flying around. So with that perception check, it's enough to see that there are openings, but that's like the limit of what has been observed.
Yeah. Can she fly up to the openings?
Sure, yeah.
She has blind sight,
Okay.
so dark.
Yeah, I mean, once they've been spotted, if you want to send her to get a closer look. These basically seem to be two... like almost like two caves, but not like large. They're not that big. You could fit a person through them, but they're maybe only like 4 or 5 feet high or wide, and there's two of them, and they're about on the same level as each other. So like one on the left, one on the right.
Does it seem like a tunnel, or just like a little cave?
Yeah,
or
Yeah, once she gets closer, she can see that they do go inwards, enough that they are out of sight, that the end is not visible.
they look like tunnels. Could be something worth exploring.
Yeah, because the last time we went in tunnels, it turned out wonderful, didn't it?
I mean, yeah, everything was great. Don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I cannot wait to see what eats Lanny this time.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, so Devvie doesn't know any of this yet, and he's looking at this thing lodged in the rock, and he thinks maybe it's something that's capping off like a little hidey hole or something.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I had to cough.
Okay. So Dev's looking at this piece of gold in the rock,
Yeah.
or wherever it is, and he's think because he hasn't seen the tunnels yet. It's not.
No. From where he is, they're like not visible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he reckons that it's maybe like a little cubby hole that's capped off with this gold. So he will try to, with one hand, try and wriggle the gold and see if it will come free.
Give me a strength check.
I can try. Straight strength check, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. 12.
Yeah, it doesn't even move.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
while you are trying to jimmy it, you are fairly confident like that there isn't like this isn't like blocking a hole or anything.
Oh, okay.
It's, you can just about see behind it. It's almost like as I said, it's part of this rock formation at the point that you're at, which almost juts out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not a plug. Well,
it'd probably be worth some money, though, wouldn't it? This bit of gold.
Give me a. Give me a. Oh.
I'm trying to find a skill that would be.
Yeah, exactly.
There used to be in 3.5. There was a skill called appraise that would have done this.
In Pathfinder, there is appraise. Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Oh wow, 7.
So I was going to say, in this case, with advantage, and I'll explain why.
Oh, okay.
If you're successful.
No.
Oh no.
That's a 4.
As far as you're concerned, like, this is worth fucking thousands. I mean, it's like, imagine like a deflated football.
Yeah.
It's that sort of size. You're like, this is fucking. We could buy like 3 ships with this.
I'll just like, I won't shout down, but I'll just be like, oi, there's some. I think there's some gold embedded in the rock here. He's embedded a lifetime's worth of gold.
Just to be clear, it's like a raw lump of gold.
Yeah.
Like pure
Gold ore.
It's been dug out the ground.
Yeah. We could sell this for a hefty sum. I've got to say though, I'm a little bit. Well, it's not quite what I was hoping to find.
Devvie, can you? That's good. I'll try and pull that out in a moment. But can you see the caves above you? Torrin
There's a
says
cave above me.
Zima's seen some little caves just above you. Can you see them?
Oh right. No, I can't from here, but I can. Now I know they're there. I'll certainly have a look. 2 seconds, and I'm basically near the top of I'm where the grapple is, right?
Yeah. So if you want to explore what they've seen, you're going to have to climb without.
Okay. Or what I could do is I'll just grab it, grab the rope just below the metal head of the grapple, and I'll say, "Gimme!" And I'll hang off the rock with the other arm, and then I'll try and just swing it. I'll look up to where I want it to fix in, and I'll swing it and try and get a little bit more height on it and get it to a fix a bit a ways above me.
Okay. Yeah, as I said, you aim, but then it's almost
kind of goes there.
Auto success. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you've thrown it up like another 20 feet, you're able to climb up. And once you get up there, you do kind of find yourselves now like kind of between these two little tunnels. They're not that far apart from each other, and you can quite clearly see them now. One to the left, one to the right. You also do notice as well where the grapple has fixated itself, completely not visible from below. It's only now visible now at the height that you're on. You can see like there's what was once maybe like a wooden beam, which has been like wedged into the rock, has now, but it's just like the stump of a wooden beam.
Right.
So like it's either broken or rotten away or something, but you can see like what remains of it there in the rock.
Ah, okay. Let me just check something real quick. Yeah, no, that's not going to do anything. Okay. Inventory. No, I don't have like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get up on this this little outcrop, and I'm just going to look down and I say, alright, yeah, I found these caves. Just give me a second. If everyone could just, like, not shout for a second, and I will press my back up against the wall between the two tunnels and inch my head around and then see if I can hear anything.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Oh, great. So that's a roll of 3 for a perception of 11 total.
The only thing you hear is, like, aside from the sea and some birds chirping, is the slight buzz of some bees somewhere.
Okay. I'll just go down then. Alright, if do you lot want to make your way up? I think we should explore these.
If it looks like there's more room, then let's do it.
Yeah, well, you know. What's the
Gonna,
worst that could happen, eh?
Oh,
Whilst
you
they
cynical
start-
fuck! Get up the rope.
And whilst they start climbing up, I'm going to start being extra cautious, and I'm going to try and see if there are any traps, any tripwires or anything at the mouth of these caves. Would that be perception or investigation?
It would be perception to find something. Investigate is if you've already found something.
Oh yeah, of course.
Why don't I... So while the rest are going... I mean, this is going to be a bit of a palaver to get people up, involving the grapple. But while they're doing this, you can have a bit of time, and if you're carefully just going from one to the other, you can take a closer look at these cave openings if you want.
Yes, I want to just be extra cautious. Oop.
The right... Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine.
So that's an 11 again.
The right-hand cave, as you're looking at it from the Bloodwake, seems relatively inviting. There are some fragrant blossoms hanging around the mouth of this cave, and it is definitely wide enough for you all to comfortably enter it. As I said, it's about 4 or 5 feet high and wide, so you will have to duck a little bit. But there's nothing obscuring it. It does kind of curl to the right shortly after entering, and then the tunnel, if it continues, is then out of view fairly quickly, perhaps after 10 feet. The left-hand cave, as viewed from the Bloodwake, is slightly less inviting, simply because the entrance is, although the initial size of it is about the same as the other one, it very quickly narrows, and it's going to require some squeezing to get through deeper into the cave. It does appear to go a little bit further back than the one on the right, but the narrow entrance does obscure your view, and it then becomes too dark to see much after 10 feet or so anyway.
Okay.
It also seems to extend upwards as it goes in, whereas the other one seems to be fairly flat.
Okay. As people are climbing up, I will have had a look at this, and as Torrin's climbing up, I'll just speak down to her and say, Torrin, when you get up here, if you could go into Zima's senses again, do your little light thing on her foot, and send her through the one on the left, the little one. I want to see if it's worth going in her.
Slight problem with that. I haven't got the light spell prepared.
All right then. In that case, hang about. Let me just have a look at my inventory, because if I thought we were going to be doing stuff like this, I would have packed some things in my bag. I think I do have a tinderbox torch. I thought I had a lantern as well. Let's have a look. I think I would have got a lantern from somewhere, but I do have a torch, definitely. So
lantern's the kind of thing that we would have, carried around with us on the regular. I think, given our line of work.
Yeah.
I didn't realise we were caving today, so I didn't. I thought we might have been over the top of the mountain rather than in it.
Yeah. Well,
so an oversight on my part.
Yeah. I thought that we might be going into having a gander at stuff under the canopy of these trees, so I did bring a light source with me. So I will use my tinderbox or my flint or whatever, flint and steel, and I will strike up my my torch.
Okay.
And then,
just so things are clear to me, who's the first one climbing up after Devvie?
Probably Lani is the next best climber.
Lani would probably wait till the end, just in case.
That's it.
just in case someone falls.
Yeah, let's say that. I reckon Torrin, then me, then Lani.
Well, we've got all the undead and and Sandara.
Oh, yeah, and Sandara. Can the undead climb?
Yeah.
I'm sure I mentioned this.
They all climb. They all have to climb up to get onto an attacking ship. Sometimes they fail,
Okay, well, this should be fun.
but they all climb.
Right. Torrin, Sandara, me, Lani, and then we'll all watch the zombies do performance art up the cliff.
That's going to be tricky, because unless it depends if they're climbing with the rope or without. Because but the rope doesn't go the whole way, so they aren't able to rethrow it.
I think what I might do is actually tie the extra rope that I have to the end of the grapple, so it's got like not quite double, but hopefully long enough that it will reach all the way down.
Problem solved.
That works.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Using one of the many new knots that I have learned aboard the ship.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, that'll work. Which makes the whole process a little bit easier.
Excellent.
Okay, so who was the? Sorry, who's the next person up?
Me, I think.
Torrin. Okay, so just as Torrin is getting, as you've reached the top where Devvie is, you see him just lining up his tinderbox, and you're lining your lantern, right?
It's a torch. So
it's a torch. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because that gives me a little bit of reach. What I want to do is I want to stick it through the gap that's too small for people to get through comfortably. I'll stick it through there, and then I was going to ask Torrin if she would go into Zima's senses and send Zima down the tunnel and see if she can see anything.
I mean,
although she's got blind sight, hasn't she? So I wouldn't need to do the... Yeah,
So-
yeah, of course.
if you want me to just look through her, then I'll just look through her.
Yeah.
I can't help us with light, but you've got a torch. And she's fine.
Yeah.
So I'll look through Zima and send her down the other tunnel. Is she going down the flat one or the one that's going upwards?
The
Left
one that's going upwards, the spelunking one.
The one with the tight entrance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're sending in Zima?
I will send Zima through, and I will look through her eyes.
Okay. So this tunnel, as I said, it raises upwards and it climbs to a point which is probably just below the island's surface. The sunlight filters faintly through a rent in the earth above, where a gargantuan tree grows down into the rocky soil, and its root system is like blocking any further progress ahead down this tunnel. The fissures and crevices in the bark of the tree's trunk, just visible at the roof of the tunnel, vaguely resemble like the wrinkled human visage with a craggy crown upon its head, while the spread of its roots below seem like the hairy growth of an ancient beard.
Ooh.
Okay. So I will murmur through Zima, because I am blind and deaf to my own senses while I'm looking through Zima, but I can still talk.
Yeah.
So I will say, while I'm looking through Zima, it appears that there's another entrance to up here that references the map.
Wow.
The crown and the beard seem to have been taken on by a tree and roots.
Oh.
So...
And is that at the top or in the middle of the ground? Or
That's right at the top. This... Oh, fuck, I can't fucking hear you.
oh, shit.
This path goes all the way up to a tree that it extends and blocks a path. So it would appear, and I would come out, that we have to go this way. And I'll cast Control Flames on your torch to make it brighter.
Nice. Alright then.
So doubling its effective light.
Excellent.
So instead of 20 feet bright and 20 feet dim, it's now 40 feet light and 40 feet dim.
Excellent.
And that will last for an hour, and I don't have to concentrate, and it's a cantrip, so yay.
Are we all
Yeah.
up at this point? Are we all... Sean?
I mean, it's gonna... Yeah, let's say... I mean, it's gonna be tricky because...
There's a lot of
It's
us.
gonna be tricky for you all to be clinging to the side of this... cliff.
I think what we'll do is stuff all the undead in the right cave. Just make them walk in there so that there's enough room on the ledge for the rest of us.
If we've discerned that one tunnel goes up and one tunnel goes in, we can just start moving into the one that goes in when everyone else is filing in behind.
Yeah.
Especially because the undead are the ones that are coming up last. So we can just start moving into the tunnel and make more room.
Also, might be worth sending Zima down the other one just to see if there's any threats that might come up behind us.
Yeah, I can do. Give me a moment. And I'll...
Hold, please.
Yep, the eyes will go black and I'll shift back into Zima's view, and a couple of seconds later you'll see her flutter out of one hole and back into the other. And I will send her down looking through the next tunnel.
Okay. This
Her
tunnel...
blind sight, if it means anything, is 60 feet.
Okay.
It's echolocation from the back.
This cave, there's a slow right curve, which goes for about 15 feet until it has basically turned out of visibility from the initial entrance, at which point it turns quite sharply left again, almost like a U-bend, to turn completely in the other direction, but after another 10 feet it just seems to stop.
Just stops.
Just stops.
The dead end.
You sus.
you'd see Torrin pause and then say quiet, sort of speak softly. It appears that it's a dead end.
Right.
It bends off and then after a couple of turns it just seems to stop. So there's nothing in there. Or no one in there, rather. No things in there, but there may be a clue of some kind that we can discern in there. And I'll come out of Zima's view. Shall we have a look with your torch?
Well, yeah, we can do, but I think maybe we should take the more difficult tunnel, and then if that proves fruitless, which I've got a sneaking suspicion it won't, because usually the obvious way to go is not the obvious way to go, if you know what I mean. The easier tunnel is.
Hang on. Which one you want? You want to go up to the tree?
Yeah, I want to go through the left one. I mean, it seems pretty symbolic, doesn't it?
It looks to me like it's another entrance to whatever this is. But if you want to have a look, sure.
I think we should investigate that first, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it might be that.
So
yeah, what's going on now? Because it's starting to get a bit short of space. Yeah.
Can we break for 2 seconds while I relieve some pain?
Very quickly.
If you guys want to talk amongst yourselves, I'll be right back. But Dev votes for sending himself down the left-hand tunnel first as a scout. Mm-hmm. But I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, whilst he's doing that, can we see the ship from where we are now?
Yeah, I mean, you can basically, from where you are, you can see out through the entrance of this inner cove, and you can see the ship just kind of sat there, not too far outside the mouth.
Whilst my brother is off having a piss off the side of the mountain, I'm going to whip out my spyglass and just have a look back at the ship and see what's going on.
The crew are mostly relaxing. There's some card games going on. Some are fletching rope. You can see Albert. He is pacing, almost. It seems of the crew remaining, he's being the most diligent watcher. You can see, though, that cogwood has been put up in the crow's nest, obviously as a lookout, and he is also taking view of the surround. But nothing out of the ordinary.
As Lanny would have climbed the rope, he would have stopped, if he could, at the little rocky outcropping with the big gold nugget in, and I would like to see if I can attempt to pull it out.
Okay.
With the use of a punching dagger if needed to try and pry it out.
Yeah, you can use that to try and get it out. Give me a strength check.
That'll be a 19.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I'm going to say with using the dagger as leverage, that is enough to get it to start to come loose. And I don't know whether you actually want to take it with you now, but you're pretty sure that you can now, with a little bit more effort, get it out as you so desire.
Yeah. I will.
I mean, it's not small. I think I did describe the size of it.
Loosen it for now, and then I will leave it be and climb the rest of the way up.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry.
I also just noticed, unfortunately, we had a comment in chat
Something about killing baby goblins.
I think that user has disappeared now.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a fair question. So, the person in question asked, "My team is angry at me. I just killed baby goblins. What's wrong with that? You know what they say. The only good goblins are dead ones. DM, killing goblin children is very common, right? In nests."
I don't quite understand the question. Is he the DM?
No, I think he's saying his team is angry. So I think he has as a player has killed a bunch of baby goblins. And DM, do you think that's okay?
Well, I don't think that's the point. I think the whole point of having the goblin children conundrum is to create a moral dilemma amongst the crew. If the obvious answer was to never kill them, then it would not be a moral dilemma ever. So I think, that's kind of the point, that some people want to dispose of them and others don't. So
I think it depends on. Yeah, I think it depends on the world that you are running as a DM. If it's canon that all goblins are evil.
All DMs
by nature.
All DMs are evil.
All DMs are evil. If all goblins are evil, then perhaps it's not such a bad thing. But if you're
like
talking
Displacer
about
Beasts?
Yeah, if you're talking about shush, if you're talking about modern D&D where everything is in shades of grey, well, no, not even shades of grey. Everything is, any species is capable of good and evil. Then it's very obviously a wrong thing to do. But that's just my take. Anyway,
it's entirely dependent on your setting, on your character, and on your DM. It's not an answer that has a black and white.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
It's the
answer is there is no subjective answer. So
yeah,
I think I find the answer is always fire.
Anyway,
yes. So that was our TNT question time section.
Our ad break questionarium.
Getting back to the game, Devvie, you wanted to explore the left cave.
Yeah, I'm tying a rope around my waist, and I say, if you hear me screaming or hollering or saying help, 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 then yank me out.
We'll laugh and leave you. Got it.
Yeah. What are the rest of you doing at this point? Are you all clung to the rock?
I'm in the secondary tunnel, out off the fucking ledge. Because fuck that.
Yeah.
Because we don't need 10 fucking people on a ledge.
Okay. Who's going into the other tunnel?
Devin.
No. He's going to the left. Torrin's going to the right.
Torrin, a zombie's a skeleton.
Yep.
I don't know what Des is doing.
I'll probably just follow brother, to be honest.
So all your zombies and skeletons and Torrin are in the other cave?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm just getting off the ledge so that people can actually maneuver out there.
Okay. Have you sent them in there, or have you led them in there?
I've gone in first because I was the second person up the rope, and they would have followed me, and we're all at the opening.
Very good. In that case...
Oh, no.
As you walk in and you make more space for this conga line of decay.
Yep.
Oh, no.
You notice your foot snag on something.
Oh, no.
And you hear a...
Oh, no.
And you turn, and just in the light coming through the cave, you see a very large, spiky log swing down from the roof. I need a dexterity save.
Okay.
Dexterity saving throw from you and the next two undead creatures in the line, please.
Oh dear.
No.
Okay.
No.
I will randomly roll to determine which undead they were. So let's do That's a skeleton. And
Same skeleton.
Okay.
So both the skeletons and me to make dexterity saving throws.
Yes, please.
My dexterity saving throw is a 14.
Okay.
And the skeleton saving throws are
Oh dear.
Oh.
a natural
That's
one
a natural one.
and a 17.
So you hear this, and you see this thing swing towards you. You instinctively, it's not even like you dive out the way. It's just almost like in that instant you just command your knees to stop working, and you almost just like collapse on the spot where you are.
Yep.
The DC was actually 14.
Excellent.
So you just feel this thing swoosh over your head. In fact, I'm going to say one of the points of one of the spikes just touches the skin on your head, just to leave like the minorest of scratches. The third skeleton, I'm going to say, was just entering the cave as this was triggered, so it swings past him. The poor guy in the middle, though, is going to take the full brunt of this trap's damage, and this is just the damage from the log, because he theoretically gets damage from the spikes as well. So let's just see if this is enough.
Oh shit!
So it's
shit.
27 from the log.
Excuse me?
I would have been dead!
Yeah.
Should we do the spike as well?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's see how that goes.
It's 1d4 spikes, so it's 3 spikes, and each spike does a d4 plus 2. So it would have been an additional 11 piercing damage. So it's 38 in total.
So I collapse to the floor.
Yes. Unscathed.
One skeleton ducks out of the way.
Well, I was going to say, he basically just started to enter. I'm just going to say he didn't even get into the line of fire. Let's just say.
And the other one, as he steps forward, is disintegrated.
Do you know what? This is how I imagine it. Torrin's like, I'm just going to go in here out of the way. And then Des and Lani, who are still on the cliff edge, just hear like a cracking thud sound, and then basically they just see an explosion of bones, like erupt out of this hole, like the cliff just sneezed, and it has some sort of odd calcium cold. I don't know.
Just rains bits of bone past them into the water.
Almost like a cannon firing, you know what I mean? Like fucking confetti. Like some strange undead bone fragment confetti.
My yellow skeleton is fucking obliterated.
It's still outside the cave, just like.
What the bloody hell was that?
Torrin?
Torrin!
Yeah, Torrin, you're literally now laying on the ground. This thing is now swung back with its backswing, and is now slowly, like a pendulum, swinging back and forth above you until it finally stops.
Good.
Just not far above where you are.
I'm good. Just about. This place is trapped to shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my skeletons just exploded.
We didn't notice.
I'm not going to go any further.
That's a good idea.
I'm going to stay here until you get here.
Yeah. I think that
I'm literally staying on the floor where I've landed, just like staring around, looking for anything else that is going to be set off or whatever.
You want to, okay, all right.
Devvie, what are you doing this time?
I'm kind of like crouched down, getting ready to go through this hole, and I hear this commotion. I'm like, you all right?
Yep. One skeleton down, and a big fucking spiky log that's about 3 inches from my face. But I'm good.
Shit. All right then.
Yeah, step carefully, brother, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
This place is trapped to shit. Be careful.
All right.
That looks like
Thanks.
it would have hurt.
Thanks for the heads up. I'll shove my torch through the hole. I've obviously tied the rope off around my waist now. I'm going to start crawling through, but very slowly and carefully, perceiving as I go. So I'm going to do another perception.
What rope have you tied around yourself?
21
I assume the one
perception.
that was on the end of the grapple rope.
The one that
Yeah.
they're still climbing.
No, I think
No.
everyone's up at this point.
Okay.
Everyone's up. Yeah. So it's 21 for perception. I've basically given the other end of the rope to Lanny.
Okay. Yeah, you carefully tread up this path along the tunnel. It's rising upwards about 45 degrees. Torch light guiding your way. You do not spot anything. You are now being particularly careful to spot any traps, any tripwires or anything, but you don't see any. What you do, though, see at the end of this tunnel is what Torrin described, this strange base of a tree, this root system, and as she reported, it does kind of look like almost like a face with this big scraggly beard.
Okay. I'm going to look up at the top of the tree and thinking of that picture on the tattoo. I'm going to look up into the boughs where I think, like, hypothetically, a crown would begin. And I'm going to try and see if there's anything up there glinting or anything that looks out of place. Because I'm quite aware that on that drawing there's a jewel in the crown. On the headband of it.
Okay.
So I'm going to look for anything that looks like it might be that. Do you want another perception or?
Investigation.
Oh, investigation. 1. Oh shit, that's a 9. Balls.
You don't see anything above. You're basically seeing the base of the tree at this point, and there are a few little tiny crevices where you can almost see sunlight coming from above. But the tree itself seems to be. It does kind of resemble a crown at this point, but the tree itself seems to be very solid and whole. Let's say.
Okay. Right, and I'll come back down to the little squeeze through point, the choke point in the tunnel office. Well, I mean, this is another avenue we can explore, but I'm guessing that if the other tunnel's trapped, then there's something to hide. Maybe we should indeed try that one first.
I just think it's another entrance to get up here.
Yeah,
Yes.
you might be right.
And if this bit's the trap bit, then this is the more important bit, I guess.
Alright, well, I'm coming through, and if you want, I can go first and scout for traps on the way through.
Please do. Also, you have a torch, and we can't see without you, so...
Alright, on my way, and I'll squeeze back through.
Okay. If you explore the cave beyond Torrin's triggered trap, you will find, as I described before, after the U-bend, it just comes to an abrupt stop.
And there's no anything in the face of the rock that would indicate like a secret door or anything like that.
It just appears to be plain rock. Yeah, you're basically in a rocky tunnel.
Okay. Well, shit.
What's
the
there,
floor
Devvie?
like in here? Is it solid rock or is there dirt on the floor?
The floor here is solid.
Okay, right. Oh, maybe this ain't it then.
What's nothing in there?
Don't look like it. I'd take the pommel of my dagger, and I'm going to tap the rock face in various places around the end of the tunnel and see if anything sounds weird.
Okay. You take a moment, clipping and clacking here and there. All seems normal. Nothing. No part seems to resonate differently than any other.
Right. Okay, maybe the trapped entrance was a red herring. Unless there was something in here and it's been taken already.
Ability?
Should we try the tree?
Got to be a bit more signifying. It's on the map as a point of the face, and as you say, there's a face on the tree almost, isn't there?
Yeah. What was it about an eye?
Climb the captain's wayward orb.
Climbing the captain's wayward orb. Well, if someone lost an eye, maybe we should be climbing up and looking in eye sockets.
Yeah? Yeah?
Alright, I'll do
I
that.
thought that pertained to what we'd just done, but it's a good possibility it could pertain to that as well. So, I mean, we've got time. We can explore all the possibilities at this point.
I'm going to...
I mean, we did Albert say which eye it was he lost? The Cyrus Wolf.
I've got a choice of two.
Was it? It could have been the left one. That
I
makes
didn't say, no.
sense to me.
Nah.
If climbing the captain's wayward orb, the wayward orb would be the glass one. If that was the left one, we're climbing up to it, I suppose. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, we've got time. We can check both.
Let's, if we can, all head up there and have a look and see if, from a few of our own perspective, and see what else we can see.
Yeah. Let's do it.
And I gather, Sean, this hole would be big enough for Lanny to get in.
For Lanny, it's going to be a very tight squeeze. He will just manage to get through.
Right, you're going to have to... Has anybody got anything to lube me up with? Anybody got any grease or anything?
Got a bit of oil for the torch.
That might work.
Well, I've got some acid, but I mean...
Keep
I
that
don't know.
torch away from me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some miscellaneous frothy green liquid. I have got some boar blood. I've got
So
some...
I'm already I've already handed off the torch to someone else and I'm greasing Lanny's shoulders up.
Looking through my looking at after I dumped all my stuff in my bag of holding, looking through them like, well, I've got like quite an interesting collection of blood now. I come to think about it. I've got black dragon blood. I've got Saharan blood. I've got boar blood.
Troll blood.
Troll venom, brother. Troll venom. There is a distinct
yeah.
difference.
Right. Yeah,
Just
toddling off through the
trying to
tunnel
look
again.
to see if I had the spell grease, but I don't. Damn it!
Go grease lightning, looking really good.
Yeah,
Grease
it
Lanny,
takes-
go,
well,
Grease Lanny.
it does require for your friends to give you a little bit of a push and a shove at one point, as they fear that you've become wedged between the two sides, but you do manage to scrape through.
Cool.
The
Yeah, and if you
zombies will shoulder barge him through the hole.
and you'll have to duck more than anyone here, almost so that you're on all fours. But you do manage to reach this root system described by the others.
Well, that is quite a tree in here, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to start climbing.
Well, you take left, I'll take right.
Yeah,
The
all right.
tunnel is only like 4 or 5 foot high.
Shouldn't take very long then.
Where maybe I've not described it well, but I'm not quite sure where you want to climb to.
I mean,
Oh. Can we
Is
just
the
see
tree
the tree
in
through
the
it?
tunnel? Is it?
The tree is obviously on the surface of the island, but the
Yeah.
roots of it have grown into the island, and this tunnel basically meets where the roots are.
Okay.
I misunderstood that.
So the actual trunk of the tree is not visible. That's
It's
above
above.
the surface.
Ah,
You
right.
can just see like the bottom, like
Yeah, the roots.
the
yeah.
the lowest most part of the trunk. Sorry, I obviously didn't describe
I
that very well.
see. Okay. In that case, then
So-
Lanny will try and force his way through with his maul.
Yeah, yeah. Does the tunnel continue after the roots?
As far as you can see, no.
Ah.
Can I break the soil to get out onto the
Go up.
ground? Yeah.
Yeah.
You could bring
Well, I mean-
the tree down on us if you do.
Theoretically, yeah. It'll cause a collapse at some point, but I mean,
What are our options here then? What are we basically another dead end?
I mean, it's possible that we may just need to go up top and look at the tree itself.
Yeah, there is that possibility.
Another option.
So are we basically in a dead end, Sean? Yeah.
I mean, like mechanically, yeah. I mean, the
Okay.
tunnel doesn't appear to go any further. From what you can see behind this root system, the tunnel does not appear to extend any further.
Can I just search in the root system and see if there's anything hidden away inside there?
Sure.
Okay. Do the perception or investigation for this? Because it's supposed to be
Investigation.
investigation. Yeah. That's better. That is a 21.
Okay. You get down on your knees and you start brushing through the roots with your fingers, and you notice something light-coloured, almost white. And as you brush at it, you realise there's more to it. As you start scraping away at the this rocky soil, you realise it's actually a skull.
Ah,
Which has been mostly buried or tangled up now in the roots of this tree. But with your hands, you're able to pull enough away that it does actually reveal what appears to be a humanoid skull, probably a human-looking skull.
and I will carefully investigate and make sure it's not attached to any wires
String.
or string or anything like that before pulling it out. So I will dust around it more and reveal more of the skull and investigate it for any potential traps.
Okay. I'll just keep the same investigation check for this. It seems to be completely, as I said, if anything it seems to be attached to is some of these finer roots that have obviously grown around it or through it. But you will be able to get it free.
Okay, and I
The
will...
jawbone is missing.
Right.
But it is otherwise mostly intact.
Jawbone's missing. Okay. In that case, I'll look at the skull. I'll pass it around and maybe like shake it a bit, see if there's anything rattling around inside it. And if not,
as said,
I will.
Just more of this rocky soil that it was buried in,
Okay.
but no foreign objects.
If I dig in a little bit further where I dug it out of, there's nothing else buried below that.
How far do you want to dig?
I'll ask Lanny for his assistance because I want to dig down maybe a foot or so, just in case this is like a marker for something buried.
Let's have a look. Dig.
How far are you digging?
Let's go. What no? Let's go about half a meter, 2 foot, 2 foot down to start
Okay.
with.
You dig. Are you digging with your hands? I guess so.
Hands, getting the punching daggers in there a little bit to help free up some soil.
Okay. So it's not solid rock here, so you are able to dig. It's kind of like rocky soil, but it's not like impacted, so it's actually not that difficult. After about 1.5 feet, though, you do find something, and it appears to be a piece of wood, but the shape is too regular and it is too smooth to be just like a piece of a tree. And although it's obviously old and rotten, it looks like it was part of some sort of like a tool or something, possibly
like
a weapon.
handle.
Yeah, so it could have been like the shaft of
blade
a spear or part of something like that, yeah. And it certainly seems to be a man-made object, but it's broken in the middle. So you don't know what was on the end. But that's what you find after about 1.5 feet.
I'm going to keep going then.
How far do
I'm
you go?
intrigued. I'm going to go down about a meter, see if I can find the end of that tool or weapon.
Okay. So you keep digging and digging and digging, and
Like a dog pushing up the mud between his legs.
yeah. You're going to need some assistance.
Lanny's
Yeah,
going to
I'm
rage
gonna
as well.
help.
Well, it's
Rage dig.
more about moving away the soil that he's digging out. And you're actually getting close to the distance where you think you wanted to give up, when your hands seem to hit something not only solid but hollow sounding.
Oof.
Oh,
And
that's different.
it's a fairly familiar sound to you. It's the sound of. It's almost like the sound of the deck of the ship.
Oh,
It's like
Ah.
wood, like you've hit a wooden surface, but it sounds kind of hollow.
well, I've hit something.
Yeah, I think there's something here, Lanny.
I'm going to keep going. I'm going to find out what this is.
If you keep digging and freeing more of this area, this seems to be obviously an unknown amount of wooden planks, and it seems to be creating like almost like a floor beneath you. And at the moment, it's as wide as the tunnel, not the tunnel, the hole that you've dug.
I'm going to try to break through the wooden plank.
How would you like to do that?
I'm going to give it a good smack with them all, I suppose.
Okay, go on then.
Where are we? Reckless. 21.
Okay, so you lift up your maul high above your head and you bring it down with as much force as you can generate in the space available to you. There is almost like a soft cracking sound. This is old wood that has been
Old wood, yeah.
moist soil for a long time, and the piece between your feet immediately breaks, and you actually have to like jump to the side and cling to the side of the hole that you've dug, as one of the planks that is now smashed under your maul cracks at the other side, and it actually falls away completely, and you just see it disappear down into a black pit, a dark shaft, and after a few seconds, you hear a splash.
Oh.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Whoa.
Lash.
Splash.
Okay.
Oh. Intrigue.
Ooh.
Wow. We got there in the end.
Got there in the end. So, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. As always, you can press buttons, you can like, you can subscribe, you can comment, you can join us every week at 8:30ish GMT time on Twitch, or you can watch the videos at your own leisure over on YouTube. We are found as TNT Nerds on just about everything, I believe.
Pretty much.
Hope to see you next time. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Thank you very much, Mr. DM, sir.
Thanks, Sean.
A pleasure as always. We will continue next week. Hope to see you then. And as always, ready? Go.
Yep.
Don't be a
Go.
dick.
That was my fault.
Never gonna lie.
Too much lag.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.